So this is the third year in running that we have, and it's good to have not only Bhante Silananda but also Ajantanath. I think both of you are rare people, so to have you here is very wonderful to and I hope Ajantanath comes more often. He is local, so but it's hard to catch Ajahn. But it's good that he's here. So with that, we request Bhante to.
Yeah, today is behalf of the Maryland Buddhist Vihara head monk, and our brother monk came from West Virginia, my teacher's temple. My brother monk, I asked him to behalf of me. There's a record in the schedule for the Theravada Buddhism, some description if you want to know. And we are very happy to Venerable Silanda to give some, because 20 minutes is not enough, but
Sure.
kind of briefing and information to other people to know about what is the Theravada Buddhism is.
Sure.
Please.
Venerable sirs, friends in the Dhamma. I think the term Dhamma is familiar to you. Dhamma friends are for Kalyana Mitta, in other words, good friends. So we are very good friends here. Especially, I'm very happy to be here with you all this evening. As my brother, Venerable Uparatana, the chief monk of this temple, invited me to give a brief talk on Theravada Buddhism. What Theravada is the topic to this night. So Theravada, the term is not really what Buddha taught us. It is not a term taught by the Buddha, which was later coined. However, first of all, we have to understand what Buddhism is. Again, the term Buddhism is not in the early discourses. This was also a later coinage from the West. The term in the Buddha's real teaching is Buddha Dhamma. Buddha Dhamma, Buddha Dharma, the Dharma is Sanskrit, Dhamma in Pali. So the Buddha taught us Buddha Dhamma. Buddha taught us Dhamma. As Dhamma was taught by the Buddha, we call it Buddha Dhamma or Buddha's Dhamma. So what the Buddha taught us, what the Buddha really taught us, Buddha taught us basically three principles in the world. Buddha taught us there is one truth in the world. That truth is common to all beings in the world, not only humans, all beings. It's common to all beings. That truth is one. What is that truth? Buddha understood that wherever beings are, there is suffering, unsatisfactoriness. Beings are unsatiated, beings are suffering. Wherever they are living, there is unsatisfactory. That is the truth. That truth, Buddha wanted to understand how this truth arises, the cause of truth. The cause of truth is craving, tanha, trishna, urge, thirst. That is what is called the cause of dukkha, cause of unsatisfactoriness. Then the Buddha understood the way, he wanted to understand the way to eliminate, way to completely eradicate this unsatisfactoriness. For that purpose, Buddha understood there is a way. That way is the middle way, only the middle way. That is called Noble Eightfold Path, which is discovered by the Buddha himself. It is a discovery, not an invention, because even before this Buddha, there were many Buddhas in the past. They all taught the same Dhamma, same thing. These four, the unsatisfactoriness, the cause of unsatisfactoriness, the cessation of unsatisfactoriness, and the path leading to the cessation of unsatisfactoriness. These four are not four truths, but four facets of same truth. Four facets of truth. So that is how the Buddha understood the first principle. And then the Buddha understood, as the second principle, he understood the whole system of the world is interdependently existing, not isolatedly, but no isolated things in the world. But so the whole system of the world is interlinked, interrelated, interdependent. So that is called the dependent origination. That is the second principle of the teaching of the Buddha. And then the Buddha understood the world. There are three marks in everything, whether animate or inanimate. Everything has three marks. What are the three marks? Everything is ever changing. Everything is unsatisfactory. Everything is without a self. This is what is called three characteristics of existence. So these are the three principles discovered, rediscovered by the Buddha. Here I draw a simple triangle for you to show this three principles: the Four Noble Truths, the dependent origination, and three characteristics of existence. So this triangle shows the whole teaching of the Buddha. This big triangle, this is how all the different traditions today, there are three sections called Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. These are called three sections of Buddhism, three schools, major schools of Buddhism today. So in all these three, the beauty in the teaching of the Buddha, this dispensation is, in all these three sections, we all aspect and we all agree that these three principles, we all accept these three principles in all the three schools. That is the beauty. There are differences, some differences, but what you call outer appearance, like outer bark of the tree is different, though the hard core is the same in all teachings of the Buddha. So that is the original teaching or early Buddhism. What we call is early Buddhism. So Buddha realized Dhamma and he revealed this Dhamma to the world. This is not for a certain chosen group of people, but this is for all people, not only humans. Even Buddha taught this Dhamma for gods as well. There are different gods in different realms. There are 6 realms called different deities, angels in different 6 realms. So the Buddha is called Sattha Deva Manusana. Deva means gods, Manusa means humans. So Sattha means teacher. He is the teacher of gods and humans. That is why he is called so. Now the Buddha, as the Buddha taught this Dhamma, Dhamma is basically now divided into 3 baskets: Sutta, Vinaya, and Abhidhamma. Those are 3 different baskets. Nowadays we use this called Tripitaka or Tipitaka, 3 baskets. So that is his whole teaching. Now this teaching, those living in the time of the Buddha, they followed this teaching. The main teaching, these are the basic teaching, as I said. These are the basic teachings. They practiced, they developed, cultivated in their daily life, this Dhamma, and those days they got the benefits. And Buddha lived only 45 years after his attainment of enlightenment. Within these 45 years, he delivered us thousands of discourses. There are thousands of discourses delivered by the Buddha. After passing away of the Buddha, there were some sort of rebellious monks. They wanted to lessen some rules. During the funeral of the Buddha, one certain monk said that now we are freed. We can do whatever we want now. nobody there to handle, nobody there to control us. So we can do whatever we would like. Like that, he expressed some sort of rebellious idea. Thereafter, the head monk, among the head monk means the most senior monk by that time, decided that it is the time to rehearse the Dhamma, to codify the Dhamma, because Dhamma was like scattered flowers on the altar. So they wanted to codify these different teachings of the Buddha. Thereafter, the monks got together, 500 enlightened monks got together. That was 3 months after passing away of the Buddha. They got together and they rehearsed the Dhamma and Vinaya. Dhamma and Vinaya. Vinaya means discipline. So, Sutta and discipline. The Buddha's conventional teachings and the code of discipline. So both these were codified and gave these to different groups of monks to preserve this Dhamma orally, not written anywhere. They all memorized this Dhamma and passed from teacher to people, descendant. They preserved this Dhamma for about 500 years. So now, after the passing away of the Buddha, this council was held 3 months after passing away the Buddha. Then, as the monks preserved this Dhamma, they recited this Dhamma every day, they remembered very well, and they passed this Dhamma. Then, after 100 years, after passing away of the Buddha, 100 years after passing away of the Buddha, there was a council where 700 arahants got together, because by that time they wanted to hold a council, because a group of monks, young monks, they presented 10 factors to lessen the rules of the Buddha, to attenuate the rules of the Buddha. When they presented these 10 factors to the council, the arahants, 700 arahants, they said, no, we don't want to lessen the rules of the Buddha. Buddha has imposed us rules. Let's follow these rules as the Buddha imposed us. So the monks were not happy. That particular group was not happy. In that group, it was a big group. Therefore they were called Mahasangha, a great Sangha, big group. So when they presented these 10, the Arahants, as the Arahants were not happy, they said, no, we don't want. Thereafter, the group deviated from the mainstream. That is where sectarianism arose in the teaching of the Buddha. Up to that moment, no such sectarians, no divisions in the teaching of the Buddha. So they all practiced, they all followed the same teaching. So that was 100 years after passing away of the Buddha. That was the second council. Now, by that time, there was a mainstream which is in Pali. Pali is the language that the Buddha used for his communication. And the Dhamma was written in Pali. Now, by that time, as the group deviated from the mainstream, the group was they used Sanskrit, and they wrote books in Sanskrit, different discourses in Sanskrit. So the mainstream was Pali, and the deviated group used Sanskrit, and they wrote the discourses in Sanskrit. Thereafter, these books were taken to China by 2 monks who came to India. They took all these discourses to China and they translated these books into Chinese. So by that time, this group was called Mahasangha group. The term Mahayana was not yet. Now after that, the mainstream was called Theravada. So Theravada was the mainstream, which was in Pali. They preserved the Dhamma, the same teaching, same discourses delivered by the Buddha. And the deviated group wrote different discourses in Sanskrit. That was the time they deviated. And then thereafter, the deviated group, they then of course had some more branches, like Tantrayana, Mantrayana, different yana, different schools. And the Theravada tradition also, there were some schools. However, what happens, now the main group was then called Theravada tradition. Theravada means elders tradition. Elders are the most senior monks, so seniority. So the teaching of the Buddha was preserved by the Theravadin monks. They then preserved this Dhamma, as I said, they preserved this Dhamma for about 500 years, and for the first time this Dhamma was written on palm leaves in Sri Lanka. That was somewhere in the 1st century. Then when this was written in Sri Lanka, it was for the first time in Sri Lanka, as it was written in Sri Lanka. Later on, this Dhamma was Romanized. One person from England named Rhys Davids, he went to Sri Lanka and he learned Pali, Sinhalese, and he brought these books and Romanized these books, and thereafter they were translated into English. That is how we got the Dhamma today. So then Theravada tradition, as I said, Theravada, the term was not from the original discourses, but as there was a Mahayana group, they were called Lokottaravada. Earlier they were called Lokottaravada. Lokottara means they are superior, sort of superior tradition. Loka is within this world, worldly, that is unworldly, Lokottara. So passing the worldly is Lokottara. So however, there were many different branches and different schools. So Theravada tradition, they, according to the history, when it was 3rd century, there was another council. That was the time of the Emperor Asoka, 3rd century BC, where they wrote different discourses called Abhidhamma, Prakarana. So thereafter, the another basket of teaching joined to the main group, main teachings, and these Tripitaka, 3 baskets came to exist in the teaching of the Buddha. So the early teaching, early Buddhism, we find only 2 categories, Sutta and Vinaya. We don't find Abhidhamma Pitaka in the early teachings, according to Theravada tradition. So Theravada is called, there is another synonym for Theravada, which is Hinayana. Hinayana, perhaps you might have heard the word Hinayana in parallel with Mahayana. This term, Hinayana, was another coinage of Mahayanist. If you want to become big, what should you do? You should suppress others. If you want to become big, you should suppress others. You are smaller, you are small, I am big. Saying that we are big, we are greater vehicle, they said you are small vehicle. Mahayana, Mahayana means great vehicle. You are small vehicle. What is this difference? They said that Mahayana, all should practice as Bodhisattva. Everybody is a Bodhisattva. everybody should become a Buddha. That is how you become, how you go through great vehicle, big vehicle. Those who follow lesser vehicle or small vehicle, they are called Hinayana. And according to that, in Mahayana tradition, there are no Arahants. No Arahants in the Mahayana tradition. Why? From whom they became sort of fight against? From Arahants. We don't want Arahant. We don't want Arahant. We follow the Buddha's way. In order to become Buddhas, you have to become Bodhisattvas. So therefore, in Mahayana tradition, you find only about 18 Arahants. In the very early discourses, we find like names like Venerable Sariputta, Moggallana, Rahula, Ananda, like that. Such there are about 18 Arahants. Whenever you visit a Mahayana temple, you can see different Arahants. Those Arahants, you can see through their own images, you can see they express their emotions. According to Buddha's original teaching, no such things happen for Arahants. Arahant means those who have completely, fully enlightened. They have attained enlightenment perfectly. Therefore, they have no emotions. But according to that tradition, they accept this. So, however, in Theravada tradition, they preserve this Dhamma, Buddha's original teaching. Then, since they preserve this Dhamma, it is a teacher to people, clear descendant. There is a very clear descendant from the Buddha's time. From the Buddha, Venerable Mahakassapa, from Venerable Mahakassapa, like Venerable Sariputta, Moggallana, Ananda, like that. That tradition came to the 3rd century. When it came to 3rd century, Venerable Moggali Putta Tissa, he himself was an Arahant. His disciple was Venerable Mahinda, Mahamahinda. He came to Sri Lanka, he introduced Buddhism to Sri Lanka in the 3rd century, Venerable Mahinda. From Venerable Mahinda, all the monks in Sri Lanka, they got their robes from their teachers. So that is how Theravada tradition, that is how Theravada monks came to exist in Sri Lanka. And later on, Buddhism was introduced to Thailand, Myanmar, from Sri Lanka. And of course, once they sort of reciprocated, once in Sri Lanka, no monks, no full-fledged monks by that time. It was somewhere in 11th century. No monks in Sri Lanka. Thereafter, some monks went to Thailand and brought high ordination from Thailand. And another time, some monks went to Myanmar, Burma, Ramanya, the place called Ramanya, and the place called Amarapura, from which they brought different sects in Sri Lanka. Therefore, now in Sri Lanka we have 3 different sects, chapters. So in such a way, this Theravada tradition is smoothly descending. That is how I want to tell you, that is what happened. And with that, we got this chance. From nowadays, we have Theravada traditions in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos, in 5 countries, basically in 5 countries. And Mahayana in China, Japan, Tibet, in like Korea, Vietnam, these countries, we can find Mahayana tradition. So that's the difference. So as I said, though we have different branches, all these can be condensed into 3 chapters, 3 major schools. Theravada, like this, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Theravada in this country is Mahayana, and Vajrayana is the tradition that Dalai Lama follows in Tibet. So all these chapters, all these schools, we accept the original teachings, main teaching, main principles. As I said, the Four Noble Truths, the dependent origination, and the three characteristics of existence. So that is my sort of summary. Thank you.
It's now your department.
And Mr. Kwong Bai?
No, he will not able to come.
Oh.
Hi, Mr. Dan. How are you? Thank you for coming.
So the traffic, and then I got
I
the
understand.
wrong one. I go to this temple, the Thai temple, and then
That is brave of you. Thank you.
What am I going to?
The IBAA
Oh, you mean
bylaws
the-
issues,
no.
we can look into that. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Have you mentioned any to any of us here that
You
the
can
IBAA
pick up from where we left off last Thursday.
the bylaw?
Bylaws.
Okay, so everybody kind of aware of
Because he's very hard to catch, as you know. So when he's there.
Well, before we get to the bylaw, I have a couple actually. It's not a final yet, but the IBAA domain name. I called the original owner of the IBAA.org. Evidently, bank in Washington D.C. had registered the IBAA.org back in 1995. And then somehow they changed their mind. And then they, instead of use IBAA.org, they kind of go one step further to IBCA. It's another deviation. You know, every day probably changed the name of the mother. I mean, of the corporation. So the IBAA is just kind of dangling. It's nobody used it, and it's supposed to be expired in July. So I
This
called.
year?
Yes.
Okay.
So I called them and I spoke to them. I explained to them to the domain administrator and the director of the bank, and explained to him that okay, the IBAA, International Buddhist Association of America, we just formed this recently. We are a legitimate corporation. We got the certificate of incorporation from Maryland back in mid-November of last year. So now we are in the process of writing the bylaw and also try to get to 501c3, which is that's a non-profit organization based on IRS code. And then he asks, what is it? So I explained to him, according to our, basically I almost read him the mission statement on the article of incorporation. You know, we had 4 or 5 line, which is very explicit. Explain, you know, what our mission statement, and he seemed to be very excited, very interesting, and he said, "Let me have your name and your phone number, and let me talk to somebody within that organization, and then he'll call me back." So hopefully, hopefully we can use that, the IBAA.org.
This is the current owner of that?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Correct. Yeah. And so I'm just hope by listening to his I mean, from our conversation, he seemed to be not a hardcore. Say, oh no, we got to keep this, or you need to pay me for that. He did
Sure.
not say that.
That's good.
And I was thinking that if we already submit the form 1023 for 501c3, I can tell you can donate it and we will write it. But now I can't say that.
All right.
So okay,
That's
so that's the IBAA.org thing.
So how long will it take roughly in terms of his giving a positive answer? Did he give a
He did
ballpark
not
figure?
give it a ballpark. He said,
Okay.
"I will give you a call back."
All
And we'll
right.
give so hopefully within the next couple of days. I
Oh,
hope.
good.
Otherwise, I will call him after this big snowstorm. I'll
All right.
call him again.
That's a good time to catch people
Yeah.
because they can't go
Right,
anywhere.
right. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I have a question about the name,
Okay.
because I have to put the official name in the logo. I just put this is in detail, the
Okay.
design.
With the leaf, with
Yeah.
the
With the
detail.
leaf and
Dhammachakra.
Dhammachakra, Dhamma
Oh, wow.
view,
All right.
Yeah.
and Bodhi leaf outside.
All right.
But I have to put the name around the view.
All right. All right.
The international or without that?
Is it IBAA or does it have the definite article in front of it? The
No,
international or just
no.
international?
It's international.
Okay.
International Buddhist Association
of
of
America.
in America or of
Of
America?
of America.
Of America.
Of America.
Yeah.
Okay, IBA. Okay, I'll put here IBAA.
So you can put underneath to start from International Buddhism.
Buddhist
And
Association.
yeah, International Buddhist Association of America. So
Yeah,
Coming
it would
out
be-
like
IBAA
that,
in the
curve, yeah.
bottom.
Right, right. That's fine. Yeah, that looks great.
Oh, okay.
IBAA here.
That's
Oh,
good.
sure.
Ajahn is an artist.
This is just a first draft. Okay, they will put the color.
Just show it to everybody.
Okay, Joe.
Can I put it in front of my video camera real fast?
Okay.
I'll pass it around, do you mind?
By the way, Bhante, Dr. Tanan, this is a young lady who with the Anusha.
Oh.
She is working the American Embassy in Bangkok.
Oh.
So just
Oh,
came, just she's leaving this Sunday. Just she came to see us and this is her temple. This is her temple. And
Then
she
you
came.
speak Thai.
เล็กน้อย
Midnight. Yeah. Okay, good. Sawadika. Sawadika. Okay, good.
So, do we, before we discuss further bylaws, do we discuss the organizational structure? I mean, leaving aside Bhante and Ajahn, other officers, or do we first need to do the bylaws?
Okay. The framework for the bylaws, I kind of set step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so now we just finished. Actually, last meeting we were working on the membership provisions for the bylaws.
Yes.
So that took us some time. So I think I got all of the feedback, and from those who were present at the meeting. So I didn't print the whole thing. I even used the newspaper. So
Right.
so I just print the articles, or the membership is the article number 3, and then it's cover the membership policies,
Okay.
and also to cover fees and contribution, and cover admission and termination of memberships, and membership books and so on like that.
So is the membership institutional or individual or both?
We have 4 classes of membership. Okay, one is ordinary member. and the qualification is the Buddhist person
Okay.
or a professional scholar of Buddhist, professional scholar of Buddhism. Ordinary members with good standing shall have the right to vote and hold office in the IBAA. The second class of membership is organizational member. Is the Buddhist related corporation, Buddhist society, maybe for the group of people that practice meditation, but it's not a temple. It's just a Buddhist society or legal organization with interest in supporting the work of IBAA. So we have many organizations like that, and but this the right of the membership is only in just one individual from the organization. This type of organization member with good standing is allowed to vote and hold the office in IBAA. Now the third third group of membership is the patron. The patron member shall be a person interested in participating and supporting the work of the IBAA. There could be a neighbor, so, they can come in and they want to enjoy the Thai food or the Sri Lanka food and enjoy the activities, and want to become a member. They can join the festivity. Okay, this group of people, this group of members cannot, they can vote, but they cannot hold the office. The fourth group of membership is the honorary member. Is the individual that has been recognized by the board of directors for their lifelong devotion to Buddhism and to IBAA. So this could be whoever that the board recognized.
Right.
Someone who maybe wealthiest person want to give $1 million
Yeah.
of the donation.
Yes. And the honorary member shall be considered elected once the nomination of this type of member has been approved by the board. Like Pante Brother said,
Right.
yeah. Somebody wants to give 10-bedroom mansion for the IBAA headquarters. Sure, he can be an honorary member of the IBAA. So this is the four group of four classes of membership.
So it's boils down to individual, organizational, patron category, and the fourth was that
the honorary.
honorary, right?
Honorary, yeah.
That's a very good structure.
So
Any inputs, Mr. Dang, as the original signatory, your inputs? I think Mr. Suk and Dr. Tun usually have something to say. They're missing.
Dr. Tun is not here.
No, he's not here. He's in a very important place. He's in the governor's mansion tonight. So.
Not him. Well, okay. And so I the next category of the membership is the fees and contribution. It's open for the discussion before the final acceptance of the bylaws. An organization can contribute a small sum of money to the fund of the IBAA, or how much, I don't know. We can talk about that, and the other individual members can also contribute, just to get the IBAA started. Last meeting, I mentioned that in order to get the 501c3 approved, we have to send in $400 with the application. Now, why $400? because our income is from 0 to 200,000. So that's $400. But if more than from 200,000 plus, that's 850 just for the application. But that's the form of 1023 form of the IRS. So initially, in order to file that, we need to have some money, in the coffer into the fund, and so we can expense printing the logo, printing the letterhead, printing the envelope, and blah blah blah. So whatever that expense need to have. And the other section for the membership is the admission and termination of membership. Prospective members can apply for the membership of the IBAA by filling out the application form. We should have a one-page application form, and on that form, I haven't really come up with the format yet. But
I think if we can get that particular form and format, because already 5 organizations have expressed interest to become IBA, so I think that should be the first in the agenda. That way we get some. I think for starters we can have minimal membership, and then over the years, as we become high people in high places, then we can expand. So.
Yes, just what do we need on the application form? Just simple, date and name, address, contact point, contact information, and probably just kind of brief statement of why that person or that organization wants to become a member.
Right.
So we have the general idea.
All right.
Okay, and then we have a comment from the board of directors. So yeah, he's a good guy. Yes, we're happy to have him, and probably some more information that we need.
Right. And I think it should be approved by the board. That methodology would be good.
Yes.
Yes.
And they have to,
Right.
that person or organization need to submit the application to the board of directors, or we have the option. If the board of directors is so busy, we can have the Secretary General can handle that.
Right. Okay.
Of the application, because the Secretary General will handle or will keep the record of the membership. Okay.
And because we are international, the member organization or individual can be outside the United States.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Correct.
So therefore, what I'm going to do probably is have a form designed and send it to both Ajahn and Bante and yourself.
Okay.
And of course, so that you're doing so much, that becomes something that you can ultimately approve and say that is okay, and then then that can become the official form.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
what do you say, Ajahn? Is that a one page?
One page.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one page.
Yeah.
We
Name of organization, to which particular country, which yana tradition, if it happens to be an organization, whether Mahayana, Vajrayana, Theravada, and also a brief statement as to why they want to join.
Sure.
And what else?
And,
Any other inputs?
How about
Yes.
fancy membership card?
Oh yeah, that would be. Only thing is we need to have initial bank account. Let's put it that way. What we can do is we can issue them an electronic, because usually electronically designed cards are free because we can send it to them electronically, and if they want to print it on their own, they can go to Vista Print. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we should have.
It's Chaplain Johnson. Any inputs, because organizations and. You are American in that regard. Any thoughts on
And
that?
I think that if an organization is sending an application,
they should make sure that they have included in minutes or the resolution of the body to make sure that it's consistent with their bylaws. In other words, it will make sure that there is a quorum that voted upon it. So I would suggest that if an organization wants to apply, of course they have to either send the letter of application along with the minutes or the resolution of the body to be included in that.
That's good.
To avoid just the officers speaking on behalf of the organization without the organization knowing what's going on. To make sure that
All right.
that there is some legitimacy there to it.
And also, I would suggest if once I send you the form, it's good to run it by a attorney, just to make sure that it has all the contents that should be there, with any disclaimers. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. So, if there are any.
After we finish bylaws?
Not so much the bylaws, the application
The
form
application.
itself. So
Membership
if is anything missing, we can add. They know what needs to be added from a legal perspective. And also, because it is international, do we need somebody who has an understanding of international law besides U.S. law, or that becomes the issue? So I'm just thinking. You know. Is that right, Mr. Daniel? What do you think?
I
Any
am
thoughts?
trying to catch up with what you are talking about.
Right.
I'm not very well prepared.
Right.
So.
Okay, since we're not having, okay, I'm speaking in terms of international collaboration.
Right.
We're not exchanging any goods or any materials, or so. The worst, the most case will be the contribution. Okay,
All right.
and we just have to send in the receipt. Okay,
Right.
here it is, your receipt, and I don't know, you can have tax deductible or not. That's up to the individual organization. I was thinking back to the minute resolution. I kind of agree with that because a corporation, in order to open the bank account,
Right.
the resolution has to be made.
All right.
Right. So there's the same thing. To be a member of another organization,
That's correct.
it probably have to have their part of the resolution. I put a note on this.
Okay.
And of course, on that form, we'll have the so-called membership classification. Okay, so this is the ordinary, or this is the corporation, or this is just the patron, or this is just okay. The honorary, of course, the board will elect that person, so probably doesn't have to have a application form.
And from the standpoint of the IRS, where does that stand in terms of international money coming in, if and when it comes in? That
It have to be remaining their country, someone who, our representative, someone, they can collect according to their country laws or regulation.
All right.
Correct.
We are not pour that thing to bring over here now.
Correct. Yeah. Most likely it's not. Most likely they cannot. And also the same thing with U.S.
Right.
The IRC, International
Revenue Service. Internal Revenue.
Internal Revenue Code, IRC.
Right,
I was
right,
thinking IRC.
Right.
We cannot send the money to Burma and then have that money deducted, as a tax deductible, or to Thailand or to Vietnam. You can't,
All right.
because the IRC will not recognize that contribution unless
Individual donor can do it directly or something to the other country, to the sending like a disaster thing happen or something we want to do.
Yeah, but not, you cannot deduct
From the organization.
From the U.S.
from,
tax.
from the U.S. tax. No.
That makes sense. So.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I put in the termination of the membership. Okay, because this is required by Maryland taxation and tax and assessment. and also the IRS wants to know all of the in details. How do you manage the conflict of interest, or how do you select or have your membership? They suggested that the nonprofit organization shouldn't have the membership, because they can control easily. Because once you have membership, which is IBAA, is the membership organization, so we have to have a membership provision within the IBAA. So what does it mean? That means we have to have all of the, from acceptance of the membership, how do we have a meeting, do we have a vote, do they have right to vote, and once you voted, what right do they have within the organization, and then what happens if the conflict of interest or conflict within the organization occur, how do you manage that? How do you clean it up? So I have to put in a couple lines. It's, okay, the membership of the membership of a member. Okay, membership of a member shall terminate upon the occurrence of any of the following events. One is a resignation of the member, which is that member has to in a form of written notice to the board of directors. So state that, okay. And second, that membership die. Of course, when it's died, you don't. No issue there.
Right.
And the expulsion of the member after the result of the majority vote of the board. So something wrong happened within the organization, and the board recognized that. Then the board has to get a meeting, quorum, vote, and blah blah blah, with all the details how to expel that member. All right of a member in the association can cease on termination of membership, as they're provided in writing. So we have the in details in there during the for the approval of the board of directors that, okay, this particular member his or her membership is ceased. Yeah. Section 4, I have a membership book. The association shall keep a membership book containing the name, address, and other information of members. And has to be kind of locked and safe, because it's private information.
Sure.
So this is.
But in this day and age, if I may say so, can that file be maintained electronically? Because organizations, even such as the federal government, have gone into this computer age mode. So I don't know.
Both. We have to have the hard copy.
Okay.
And also so electronic database.
Right.
So it's just kind of easy. It would be easier to keep it all electronic. You don't have to print it out. Okay. Yeah. So and the next article is the board of director, and we have not touched that yet. So this is up to this point that I.
All right.
I would suggest you have both, hard copy and electronic.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
What Princeton do now.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the one that he mentioned that needs to be locked up in a safe, because it has this confidential information.
Yeah, we have to have both. Yeah.
And probably because it's better to have it at one time, because there is that physical space that is available to keep that safe. That would be the only one in John's room, probably, as we mentioned last time. So. Be careful.
Give your hand here. Oh, there you go.
So that would be good to have that.
Yeah.
So it should be in some kind of. Is there a necessary ledger form, or not necessary? It can be in any kind of notebook form or anything like that.
I haven't really that far yet. I'm thinking of.
No.
I was thinking of to have a database, okay, and then you can print it out.
So yeah, so that would be good.
Well, I was thinking of, I don't think we need a book for it. We have a database version,
All right.
and also we can print it on the this, and put in the 3-hole binders or whatever, and then kind of add them up as we go along.
Okay, all right, that would be good.
Anybody know how to use? Anybody know how to write a program like membership
But
software?
what about register online? You have to put in the website. Yeah.
Firstly, then we would need the website first to be able to do that. So, I mean, it sort of ties into website, email, and Facebook, right? Those three they come intertwined. So until the domain name is released, so
Correct.
yeah, so
Yes.
it all is tied to that.
Well, okay. Since we have lots of people like this, if for some reason the IBAA, if the corporation of the existing holder of that domain name said, "Oh no, we want to keep this," what options do we have? What we like to come up with a new name?
No, the question I was about to ask you right there, I'm glad you brought it up. Now, IBAA.org is the one that we are going after.
Correct.
Is there an IBAA.com?
There you go, yes.
This is it that
It's about travel.
in the realm of possibilities? Because anything else,
That
I think
that-
org was the
that
better
that-
choice. It's
that
the number one
org.
choice, no doubt.
Correct.
But yeah,
.org.
yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
But they are this thing. But other in
Yeah.
case that does not work,
That's correct.
they are holding then IBAA.com. But the issue is that .com can become commercial.
Correct.
Our own intention is to have as .org,
Correct.
but .com has, though this being a religious organization, whether that would be acceptable, and that has to be decided by.
What about add more later from
Okay.
IBAA?
No, we are just thinking in advance. If we get org, no problem. Then the whole problem is solved. But if that org, the people who are currently owning it will not
I think
give it up, then
.com also they took.
it's okay
Yeah.
to do
No,
that.
no, existing right now because.
Yeah, .com.
Only thing is, ours is a religious organization. A com comes from really commercial
Correct.
or
Correct.
or
No, the other thing is .com is not available. .com is International Billboard Association of America.
it's taken.
It's only that. It's a billboard. You know, the organization. They just put a billboard
It's
along the
taken,
highway.
yeah, taken.
Yeah,
That's already taken. Yeah.
So
What other ones are there? .net, IBAA.net.
Right.
Any thoughts on that? That would be okay. That's neutral. Because all it means is network.
yeah.
So net would be okay if org
It's not
slips and
available.
fails.
It's not available.
Yeah, available. Yeah.
It's good to have the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Net. If you can write that down.
Yeah.
Net would be okay, Ajahn.
Yeah, we don't want to go to Billboard, you know.
that's out. It's already taken.
Okay. The .org is the ultimate
First preference.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so
.net
it's,
is the second preference.
IBAA.net. Yeah.
And since
Anybody
we
has
Buddhists
any-
think in terms of three, let's have the third option just in case.
Yeah.
Anybody has any idea
What is the
on
usually
.net?
.net?
.info.
No, there's one more I think, which is there. They had actually given a series of ones. You had it in your email where. No, I had sent you the email which Ajahn sent. They had this whole list of those that were available. And I forget that these two, of course, .net was one of them. I think there was one other thing.
Like sugar or without sugar, your tea?
I'm sorry?
The tea they want.
Maybe you can bring the separate.
So
Um,
I think within these two it should be .NET should be okay, but there's one more I think that was there that we could be used as.
Okay.
You can think of any other domain names that has been floated around for other organization. Net, org, and com are
I
the
think
three
those are the
most
most
ones.
popular.
Yeah.
But there'll be
maybe
two
one or two
others.
Yeah, some other,
But
small-
I would check for some of our students and then
Yeah.
email
Yeah.
it to them.
Yeah.
Right.
The .org is the domain recognition with prestige for the non-profit organization.
Yes, it is. Yeah, right.
So even though .NET is available, I still try to prefer to add maybe one or two character extra with the .org.
I told John that how about IBAAinc.org, and of course that becomes a little too verbose. Too many letters, so but that's an option that exists in case this falls through.
Please help yourself while you're talking that stuff, whatever you can be, just prepare for you.
Let me ask everybody this question. Okay, in Thai calendar, it's 2,559. The year of Buddhism. Okay. Now, what about in Sri Lanka? Yeah, the same year.
It's from the time of the Buddha. That's the way that calculation is done, right? The Buddhist era, BE.
Yeah, BE. The year.
Yeah, BE, BC and BE.
Yeah,
BE. Yeah,
BE.
we normally
Yeah,
use
what
BE.
year? What numbers now? How many?
According to Sri Lankan calendar, what number?
According to Sri Lanka.
2,559.
59.
Oh, it's just the same.
It's the same. It's happening because it's
timeline.
Theravada. Because
Yeah. Yeah, what
59.
about
Yeah.
Mahayana
in the Vietnamese
you add another 80 years there.
plus 80.
Yeah,
Oh.
plus 80.
With
How about in the
Thailand
Korean
and Sri
tradition,
Lanka,
Dr.
we
Gun?
use the same.
I think it's similar. I cannot remember the exact
I think
number.
Korean
Okay.
and Vietnamese is
Yeah, the same because
The
they have a
same.
Mahayana
Yeah,
tradition.
Mahayana.
Right, okay.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I was gonna add the year. So like
Right.
IBAA 59. This
No,
is the.
we want to
the-
keep it
Yeah, I want to keep.
Yana neutral.
IBAA.
You take tea again?
We-
That's
thank-
enough.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's for you. This is the food line.
So
IBAA 3Y.
BY?
3Y.
3Y. That's good.
Yeah.
3 yanas.
3 Yana.
As in case
IB3.
IBAA 3Y.
IBAA
3Y. Is
Number
numbers
three and Y.
number considered a
Three.
special character?
Triana.
Or just put 3. THREE. Literally spell it out. IBAA 3 YA.
You can still
And-
use a number.
You can use? Oh yeah, you can use.
Oh yeah.
Then problem is solved.
As numbers you can use.
You can, okay, because special character issues there.
IBAA.
Triya
Three,
is
yeah.
good.
That's
It's
good.
meaningful, yes.
So if we don't get IBAA.org, IBAA3Y.org, and it has come from one of the principal founders of the organization, this is as high as it can get.
Because usually mention about 3 Yana. Put 3 Yana. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Do we have to make the decision tonight?
No.
No, because first of all, the domain name has to get released, in which Mr. Manakul is going to have in 2-3 days, trying to bug them. If that fails, it is better than .NET.
For me, my reaction is my first
Yes.
reaction to the
Please.
IBAA, that and then something else, that net or .com or that
Org.
org.
Mhm.
it looks more professional to me.
Oh yeah,
Well,
but the thing is, it has to be released.
And then 1, 2, 3, or then 3, and then whatever that is. It doesn't look
It's important
proper.
for nonprofits to have an org,
yeah.
I think.
He's talking about free.
Whatever it takes
Yeah,
to have an org.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
IBAA not being interrupted, like IBA of A would not
Yeah.
make sense. You gotta keep the IBAA.
That is only as
and then
a
whatever it
second
takes to get
preference.
an org
Otherwise, we are
is, I
going
think,
for the that
Yeah.
one first. Yeah.
The ultimate that agreed by everybody is IBAA.org.
Yeah.
Org is from organization.
Yeah.
IBAA.com, which is com is from commercial, which is we're not
I
that.
learned a lot tonight about that.
Yeah, and IBAA.net. Those are like a Verizon. They use .net
Right.
because they are part of the network of the internet network. So my way of thinking. Okay, now if the IBAA is not available, the existing the owner doesn't want to release that domain name. Maybe we can add a couple characters to the IBAA and keep the option for .org available. And Ajahn Thanat said, okay, have 3Y for
The three
For
Yanas.
Yana.
Right.
As option, right?
Yeah,
as
that's
option.
That's
yeah,
option.
Yeah.
We need 2 more approvals, Dr. Tun and Mr. Sok. They usually have objection.
Let them know, but otherwise it's not.
Right,
take,
right,
it's
right,
Take,
yeah.
take a time,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
So I think that should be good. So, any other thoughts,
But
additions?
logo things and have to be. We're already
I think
decided.
we're okay with
Yeah,
that.
we
Yeah,
are.
right.
Okay, so let me put the color
Color.
and put the name.
You're right.
Then
International Buddhist Association.
And also
In
to put the 3
America.
yanas in there on either side.
Right.
What he did, the triangle.
so the name will be a straight line or will be curved.
circle.
In the circle, in the.
Oh, in the
Dam-
circle.
Dhamma-wheel.
In the
Oh,
In
okay.
the Dhamma
Oh,
wheel,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's
And
good.
Okay.
then next or other meeting everybody can have the copy. They can look at it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Sure. So in that case, we can start printing the letterhead and the envelopes, just in case for their use in future. If we want
And
to
start Facebook and
Start
website. It's
Start
the-
website.
Yeah,
domain
a
name.
domain name,
Is
as this one, yeah,
approvable.
right.
Yeah.
Email also
Yeah.
together with, because that way we can make the announcements and other things.
Then we have
I
set up
try IBAA also. Somebody took it already.
For the email,
Gmail, yeah.
Gmail, okay.
IBAA, no, not available.
maybe for email we can use whatever like a hyphen and underscore, those kinds of things. So maybe we should use IBAA 3Y
Yeah,
.com at gmail.com.
at Gmail, right.
So I think we can use that if that is available. So.
Have to add on because IBAA not available.
Oh, right,
I
right,
tried.
right. I think it's good. Since you yourself suggested 3Y, let's go for that.
Yeah.
I think that would be good,
Okay.
yeah, for the Gmail.
Gmail.
Yeah, so that,
What about another Yahoo, Hotmail? No.
I think Gmail is the best,
Yeah.
Ajahn, because
I
it is
agree.
universally
I
almost.
agree. Yeah.
The only thing is, by the way, since everybody's gathered, Ajahn Thanat announced that our Wat Nalaman conference in Boston will take place on the 4th and 25th of
June.
June.
Oh, they changed the dates by week?
Yeah, they
Changed
changed
it,
it,
yeah.
yeah, because Ajahn Thanat, this things, in fact, I have to email a whole bunch of people because we have delegates
Yeah.
coming as far as
25th is a
Sunday.
Saturday. 26th is a Sunday.
Sunday, so
So
24,
24 is a Friday, but they will have a meditation
Okay, but
And
it's
the conference will be
25th.
Yeah, Saturday.
so 25th of June. Yeah,
Saturday, and celebration on 26th.
Yeah.
June.
June. June.
June.
Because delegates are coming as far as from People's Republic of China. We have the Guangmin Abbot coming with Professor
seminar.
Jia
Conference on
from
25th June.
Jinan University. Also, Japanese Buddhist delegation is coming, and also from Korea, Venerable Jin Wall is coming, and Professor Lee Man Tat from Vietnam is coming with 3 or 4 Vietnamese monks. So
So basically,
Yeah.
it start from 24th through 26th.
24th through 26th. That's right. 25th being the main day of the conference for
Yeah.
us, outside non-Thai people, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We got 24, they're gonna start with the meditation first.
Right.
We're gonna open the meditation hall on 26th Sunday.
Okay.
So 25th we have a conference on Buddhist.
So we have to fit in. We have to start early that day, and fit in all the speakers. So we have to sit down and chalk out an agenda for the 25th to accommodate all the international
Okay, so
speakers.
so from Friday, Saturday,
through
and
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay.
Right.
Are
And the
you
purpose
going
is
to send
to
out the-
commemorate, to open the temple.
The temple is already open.
I see.
The extra facility of the meditation hall, because the temple opened 2 years ago.
Oh, I see.
I had not known you at that point in time, but we had a grand opening ceremony of that temple. I'll send you a picture. It's a huge temple.
And so this one is to do what now? What's the purpose of this conference?
It's an international seminar on Buddhism, conference on Buddhism with papers and PowerPoint presentations on various aspects of Buddhism. So that is the purpose behind it.
Okay.
Are you going to send out the email about that?
Yes, I will. In fact, I actually sent it out to the international crowd already, and now I have to resend it because based on the
Yeah,
new date.
because of the head monk from Thailand is that month is very busy because of the anniversary of the king's going to the throne 70 year.
Wow.
This month June. Two weeks between 9 to 18 or 17. It will be very busy in Thailand.
Right.
So this is the reason why he moves the date. And
Maybe we should have the formal announcement, right?
yeah.
With the details.
So let
and-
Dr. Heba
Yes.
make the schedule and the main theme of the seminar.
Yes, okay.
And then
Somebody did
focus.
ask whether the seminar has a theme or whether they can
So we
present
have to
papers. Okay.
discuss about that.
I think I'm fine, thank you. I think what we should do is, because people are coming from various traditions and they want to present, for instance, Professor Lee Man Tat from Vietnam, he wants to present the history of Theravada Buddhism in Vietnam. So like that, different people have different things. There's one person who is a real expert on Nagarjuna, and he's also a science person, Japanese Buddhist individual. So he wants to do this notion of shunyata, emptiness. What exactly is the subtle difference between shunyata of Nagarjuna and the anatta of the Pali canon? So those kinds of things. So they seem to be experts in different aspects. The best is to leave it open based on that. I mean, we can have a general common theme, but it is better to hear their expertise. That is what I feel. Because there is no common board as such from these various speakers. And you would already have had on the 24th the meditation thing, which is already done. And therefore it is good to have this kind of miscellaneous speakers.
But We have to have the theme of the seminar. One theme.
One
To
thing. What do you?
send to them that everybody know that one.
Okay.
What the purpose
Any
of
any
seminar.
thoughts on any themes that for the seminar that we want to do? What was the previous 2 years ago?
Because
What did we have?
if in general, you know,
Right.
the people, you know, the audience of they not benefit.
Oh, right.
Because you have to have one topic
Right.
to propose to them what
Right.
they want to know about.
What was the 2 years ago? What kind of topic did we have?
About Buddhist studies.
Buddhist studies. Okay.
Yeah, Buddhist studies.
And it may be a good idea to send it to seminaries, theological seminaries, so that professors may want to introduce ministers, because the U.S. is becoming much more multicultural in its religious tradition.
Right. What I think what we can do in that aspect is let's have Buddhist education, because it's going to be tied up to University of East.
That one, that's the head monk wants to.
Yeah,
have
Buddhist
that.
education.
Yeah.
This is the theme of the seminar that we're talking about, right?
Yeah. Because that's the whole idea, is to have that Buddhist University of East that the Grand Abbot wants to have at this thing. So.
Are they thinking of it being in the Boston area? I mean, it's,
No, the whole idea is probably to start, because in this day and age we have a lot of competition. We can also have physical classes, no question about that, but online would be good.
Right.
Otherwise it will not going to take off, because all universities these days have that. We have also actually competition even from Berkeley Buddhist Monastery. They have, which is associated with that Temple of 10,000 Buddhas. They have already a bachelor's and master's program in Buddhism online. So if we are to do that, physical classroom education is fine, but this in addition should be there. But that's how it takes, the name takes off. And you have many international academies doing that. So this is the only way this can go forward. So, and in fact, many of these other professors who are coming, professor monks, would be interested in being part of the faculty for the curriculum development of online education for Wat Nalaman University. Yeah, because that way they can be wherever they are, and the students can be worldwide, and then.
He's willing to give the space in Wat Nalaman to
Right.
have a class.
Right. No, as I said, physical class is fine, but in addition to that, we need the online.
So IBAA going to the Wat Nalaman temple, just going to have we are organizing, right? We are.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Ajahn. Last time we had, is this the Wat Nalaman conference is going to be under the umbrella of Thai Council of Bhikkhus or IBAA?
Not only
Together.
Together, okay. Joint project.
But because the Council of the Thai Bhikkhus are the 40 years anniversary, they celebrate on 26th.
Okay.
So IBAA should play the important roles on 25th to hold the program for the seminar.
Right. So it's a joint.
Joint, yes.
effort.
And the Mahajula Buddhist University.
Right.
Also the joint.
They were there last time also.
Yes.
Right.
And where's that university?
With Mahachula University?
Yeah.
Buddhist
that's
University
in Bangkok, Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the premier institutions which has been
Buddhist
going-
institutions.
Oh yeah, Buddhist. It's a full Buddhist university where the monks are trained with regular courses.
Like a seminar.
No, it's a seminar, but a full university. There's almost like, if you want to call it Liberty University or anything
I
like
see.
that, full degree issuing university.
That's good comparison with Liberty University.
many Buddhist people coming from different countries and staying there. And take
I'll send you the link to that.
Please, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have two universities because belong to Tamayut and Mahanikaya, two main universities in Bangkok.
They are the two main orders of the monks in Thailand.
So you're gonna send me both of them because
Oh yeah.
I want to pass this on to
Oh yeah, yeah.
this
Right.
guy, the Baptist World Alliance, so he can see and read up on it.
But the other thing also is that the conference in Boston, they want to start a Buddhist university in the East.
Yes,
We had talked about it with the Grand Abbot 2 years ago.
I see.
So the question is, he's going to give us space, but I suggested that it has to be online as well because there is a lot of online competition,
It has only
including
space
Buddhist
but no
University West.
manpower.
Yes.
Same thing with
manpower.
IBAA.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
We're
it'll
gonna
be
have
just
to.
Boston only, and that's not going to happen.
But
Yeah.
I told you some time ago, Harvard Divinity School was cultivating Buddhist courses at Harvard.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been moving. In fact, they got a major donation from a Buddhist to do that. But I'll send you the information on it.
Okay.
They did,
And
yeah,
by the
they
way,
got it.
talking about that, the Buddhist Catholic Dialogue meeting is going to take place at Dr. Tun's temple on Thursday,
28.
28th.
28, I have.
20, is that, no, I think it's the 28th?
Tuesday.
Thursday?
Yeah, I think Tuesday, right?
No, not Tuesday, Thursday. It's Thursday, 28th.
Calendars over there, I don't know.
Yeah, you sent an email out.
Yeah, it is, it's Thursday,
Thursday.
Thursday, it's 28th.
Yeah.
28, I have commitment county. I already.
Right,
but I
right.
cannot do both
Right.
same time.
Yeah.
If the time is changed, it's okay. But I will be
I
busy.
think, I think the time is 3:30 afternoon,
Yeah, maybe little later 3:30 I can come because of that program will until 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, yeah. No, we begin at 3:30 and we have to end by 5 because
He has to
the other person is taking the plane back, Don Mitchell.
Don Mitchell.
All right, so.
So what are we gonna talk about then?
It's what Ajahn Thanat and a few other monks from the various traditions, the Pope Francis called for a meeting of Buddhist Catholic dialogue. He wants dialogue with all the world religions. So last June, in 2015 June, they went to Rome. Dr. Tun also went. And the idea is to promote further dialogue, but along several lines, discussion of philosophies of the two traditions, etc. But this particular meeting is dealing with humanitarian projects, social agenda of because the Catholic Church has found a donor in New York City who is extremely wealthy. He's Jewish, but has become a Buddhist, and he says, I have this money to have any projects which the Catholic Church wants. I will donate the money. So the Catholic Church is saying green housing projects or green friendly housing projects for poor people in the urban area. So what the Catholic Church has suggested is at the bottom floor of that building, they will have a Catholic space for Catholic Mass and all that. They are going to give us Buddhist space also as a meditation center. Anybody can use, any of the monks from the various traditions can come and lead meditation if they so choose to. And then there's this third organization, which is actually a Chinese Buddhist organization called the Suchi Foundation. They are the only non-profit Buddhist organization operating in the United States. They are Taiwanese based. So they have such a good organization, they say we will supply all the medical personnel. We will provide free clinics, everything. So on the either end of that, you have the Catholic religious space and the Buddhist religious space. So, because we were worried about funding, as initially, before we were told all this, we thought the Catholic Church was going a bit too far, because we made it very clear to them that Buddhists have money for maintaining their own temples, but not engaging in something like this. So they said, no, money is not an object because of this person. So therefore, all of this comes in. And that's where it stands. So that's what this meeting at Dr. Tun is very interested in these matters. So he was also one of the people in Rome along with. So that's where that stands. So you're welcome to that. I'll send you the information on that. Actually, the Won Buddhists are also very interested. The Won Buddhist, which is Korean.
One Buddhism also, they went
They
to,
went
to
to the conference in Rome.
Yeah.
So that's.
I think we had
Mostly we are the sort of the people who are nodding our heads only because the Catholic Church is directing all this and the money. So we say, okay, whatever kind of thing. Only thing is, even if they provide a space, the venerables of any tradition, Buddhist tradition, should have the time. And not only that, question has come up that even if you provide a space, who is going to be interested? Let's say you build this greenhousing project in a Hispanic majority area. They know about Catholicism, and they will certainly make use of the free medical facilities by the Suchi Foundation. Whether they will come for the Buddhist meditation, because they have no idea what it is. One or two may be interested, but we don't know. That's where it stands.
So this is our, second meeting, right?
Second meeting, yeah, right, exactly.
The first meeting, right, at the one temple?
One Buddhism.
One Buddhist. One, right? W-O-N.
W-O-N,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
One Buddhism.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
okay.
actually
I
Korean.
know where it is.
Right, yeah, it's right here.
Oh, yeah.
And the idea also is that they wanted a meeting in which everybody from both sides are present, and so that input of ideas can be given and so on and so forth. So it's really, that's where it stands right now. So anything else that you want to add?
Anybody has any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay.
Mr. Dang, anything?
No, thank you.
Dr. Dun, anything to add?
Okay, ready to close the testimony. Apivadanasi sire sane chamota pachayino chataro dhamma vadante ayuvanno sukham palang.
Next meeting will take place, of course I always send you, is going to take place again on, I don't know which particular date it is in February. It's always the third Thursday in February. It's going to take place in the Laotian Buddhist Temple in Lorton, Virginia. So just to give you advance information. By the way, our study circles are booked all the way through September. So we're looking for a temple for October. Is that solidly booked?
What day and what time?
Out of the country, I'll be out of the country or I'll be in another state.
Oh, that's fine.
What day and what time do you see?
We can have it in October.
Oh, you book on from here to October?
Yeah,
September?
through September, yes.
September already.
Yeah, take it, yeah, right.
No, but for the...
For the IBAA, we are there all the time.
Yeah, for
That's
the,
no problem.
for the IBAA bylaws and 501c3, we should meet every Thursday at the one
Right.
time at 7 o'clock.
All right.
I'll try my best.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
thank you.
All right.
Mr. Dang, did you interesting to Thailand?
I opened the website.
And somebody coming.
I have a conflict of the first 2 days because I cannot make it to March.
Okay.
March the 8th, I think. I have a big group of meeting here for my family. They planned it last year. And,
Okay.
I wish I could go.
Okay, next time.
Yes, yes.
Travel to India, Nepal, or Sri Lanka. Thank you, Bhante. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Nice to meet
Very
you.
nice, yeah. Good presentation today. Thank you. Yeah.
I wish I could go because I read it. It's
Oh.
very interesting.
Okay,
Very, very interesting.
next time.
Yes, sir.